I think that the Obafemi Open Challenge can actually be pretty interesting if it's done right. Like anything really, but there is a lot of potential here. The reason I say this, although like it's pretty obvious by now that this guy's only gonna face jobbers in this open challenge, and that's the end of it, right? Like Gunther's never gonna answer this open challenge, you know? Randy Orton's never gonna answer this. It's just gonna be a bunch of random nobodies, and he's gonna beat them. I don't know what the end goal is here. I don't know how this is going to end, but for the most part, this is what it's going to be, right? Like, I still think this can be interesting, and the reason is just this. This can open new possibilities, something that we just didn't even expect, you know? Like, of course, right now he's facing people like Otis and whatever the fuck, but there is always going to be that question, who's next? Just like with any open challenge, right? I think with Obafemi, that's very interesting because he has beaten Brock Lesnar, but he hasn't faced a whole lot of people till now in the roster. So there is always going to be that question about how is he going to go against, let's say, Randy Orton. Like if Randy Orton and this guy are supposed to have a match tomorrow, let's say there are no interferences, somebody has to go over clean. I don't know who's going to win. Nobody knows who's going to win. It could go either way, you know what I mean? And he has that sense of factor with a lot of people in the roster right now, which is going to help him. And that's the best thing about a wrestling match, in my opinion, when you really don't know who's going to win. That's when the matches are very interesting to watch. If you already know who's going to win, like with Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu, you kind of know that Roman Reigns is winning. If it's something like that, then you know that it's just bullshit. So you have that factor, and that opens a lot of new possibilities. Now, of course, this company will not explore any of those possibilities, but those possibilities are there, and you never know. Even if someone like LA Knight answers, man, like, I think he's gonna lose if that happens, but like, if they, I don't know, maybe push him a little, I guess. Like, LA Knight has recently been buried quite a lot, so maybe not him, but I don't know. Maybe Seth Rollins, let's say, like, if he answers. They're not gonna do that, I understand that. At least not right now. Like, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen, I don't even know when. You know what I mean? So, that's what it is, but I do think that there is some room of possibility. Another reason I think that this can be good, or this is good for Obafemi, is because, in my opinion, this guy is not a main eventer, man. He's not a main eventer. He's maybe someone like Braun Strowman. That's his position in the card, right? Like a guy who can potentially fight for the world title every now and then. He's a babyface, which is a bit odd. I think a guy like him usually comes in as a heel. So this is the first time you're seeing someone like Obafemi come in as a babyface. Like if this guy debuted, I don't know, 10 or 15 years ago, pretty fucking sure this guy would have been a heel. This is something very new in that sense, but like either way, his position in the card I think will still be very similar when it's all said and done. So we have that here. Like even Braun Strowman, if you remember back in the day, he was feuding with guys like Brock Lesnar, man. Like he didn't beat Brock Lesnar, but he was always like shown as a guy who can go one-on-one with him, right? So it's the same with Obafemi. He did beat Brock Lesnar, but Brock Lesnar is like on his way out right now, so it's not the same thing. If this was 2016, 2017, I'm pretty sure Brock Lesnar would have gone over Obafemi. I think it's the same thing when it's all said and done. But if it's something like, let's say, Braun Strowman comes back and he's gonna fight Obafemi, something like that, you know, like something that's just exciting to watch. I think we need more things like that with Obafemi. Now, with open challenges, of course, it's like a bit restrictive as well because he needs to keep going over until he loses. Like if he's losing half the matches, there is no point of having an open challenge then, right? There is that as well, so you can only have one match where he actually loses, I think. But aside from that, I think that because he's not a main eventer, at least not yet, in my opinion, he's never going to be that guy. And what's the best thing to do for a person who's not going to be a main eventer? Like, he's not going to win a mid-card title after beating Brock Lesnar now. So this is the best thing you can do with him. They don't write any storylines anymore, so what else are you going to do with this guy? This is the only option. I mean, that's a completely different problem, man. Like, they don't have any storylines. They could have come up with a storyline for this guy, you know? Like, I don't know. Anything. Doesn't matter. Like, you have Johnny Gargano. Like, he could have, like, tried to hit on his girl or something. And Johnny Gargano's like, holy shit, man, this guy's fucking big. What do I do now? And, like, just a storyline there, you know? Like, it's gonna be better than any fucking thing that's on the show right now. That, in my opinion, would have been a lot better than what we're actually seeing. But still, an open challenge, like, it does have a lot of room for surprises, you know? And that's all I'm saying, that there is a possibility that this can end up in something good. I highly doubt it's gonna happen, but it can be good.